everything about this film so far sounds so bizarre that I'm actually really excited. So it does appear that the Spawn reboot is going full steam ahead, since we've been hearing a lot more about this movie than ever before, especially since Jamie Foxx is now officially cast as Spawn, which I've gotta say, I'm really excited to see what he'll bring to the character. However, when it comes down to the majority of fans, it does seem like this film is a huge mixed bag, at the very least from what we've been hearing so far about the film anyway. Because in this reboot, Spawn is going to be seen as more of this boogeyman and a presence as opposed to being a legitimate hero. And that it does seem like we're not going to see much of Spawn in his true form for the majority of the film. And that we'll only get to catch glimpses of Spawn as well as maybe even his voice. Which many people do deem this to be a little problematic given how they just cast Jamie Foxx, who is an Oscar winner mind you. But when you really stop and think about this is actually a pretty good idea. Because to me, Spawn is always one of these characters who is always shrouded in mystery. He is pretty infamous in lurking in the shadows and is also known to be a myth. And in many people's eyes, Spawn isn't even a hero, but rather he is a monster. A creature who lusts for vengeance. And given how the Spawn reboot is going to have a smaller budget, it does make sense for them to not waste all of its money based on the look of Spawn. Especially since his appearance is going to be very limited anyway. Because if you show more of Spawn in his full glory, then it's just going to cheapen the effect of the actual myth. And it just gives him more of that intimidating presence, and I think it can especially work given how Jamie Foxx always has that demanding voice, which is incredibly fitting for Al Simmons. But not only that, they also do a pretty similar thing with Spawn the animated series, which I've gotta say it's easily one of the best comic book animated series of all time. And how they captured the essence of Spawn is just magnificent, because whenever they do show you Spawn, most times out of 10 he is just lurking in the shadows, with only his cape floating around and his eyes glowing green. And even when we get to see the bare minimum of Spawn, he still has that presence. And the less we see of Spawn in his true glory, the more terrifying he becomes. And so if this reboot does go with that similar angle as how they did with the animated series, then I have absolutely no problem with this at all, because this is Spawn at his best. And sure, it does come down to the execution as well as Todd McFarlane's direction, but so long as they take inspiration from the Spawn animated series while incorporating Spawn into creative scenes, then this should be no problem. And it would make this reboot stand out all the more in comparison to the other comic book films. So how do you feel about Spawn being seen as nothing more but a presence in this reboot? Do you think that this is a little problematic, or do you think that this could actually work if given the right material? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.